all, I'm just using one large synthetic round brush. It's a big brush. It's about a size 12. The number has worn off the handle, so I'm not sure, but it's quite large. This is my homemade Stay Wet palette. Acrylic paints dry very quickly, especially when you've squeezed them out. So I've just got this plastic sort of lid. I put some paper towel in there, wet it, and I'm using grease proof, or you can use parchment paper. And this is it creates a process called osmosis. So when you put the acrylics down, the sort of moisture seeps through them so that they don't water them down, but they just keep them wet for longer. So what I'm doing now is I'm just squeezing out some white, a touch of yellow. I'm just going to paint the sky, and I put a little bit of purple there. It's kind of a sunset or sunrise sky, so I'm just sort of working and mixing the colours straight on to this board. Now don't worry about this stage. This stage is all about just getting some paint onto your board, sort of designing your composition, as it were. As you notice, I'm not doing any drawing. The other thing I did there was I really rinsed my brush. I really pushed the hairs to the bottom of that glass jar to make sure I got all of that paint off so I can work into the yellow. But I also wiped it on my paper towel so that the water in the brush didn't dilute the acrylic paint, because I'm painting these acrylics straight from the tube without any dilution. And I'm just putting a little bit of sky colour in here, yellow, and I'm blending it with my fingertips as well. If you don't like that, you can just blend it with a clean brush. Just going to blend it with the violet there, just to sort of merge it together. Just sort of painting the top part now with a little bit of the yellow on the brush, which creates a kind of a warm sort of violet colour there. It's a really nice sort of tonal colour for the sky, and I'm putting this a little bit on the horizon. If you noticed, I've actually gone landscape instead of portrait, as the photograph is portrait, but I thought I might make a bigger, wider sort of painting. I was in the mood for it. I'm just putting a little bit of blue now around the horizon area. I actually thought this was my cobalt blue. I put a colder, sort of almost like a Prussian or a cyan blue there. It's not quite the colour I wanted. I would probably go for more of a cobalt. But it was just, I was in the throes of it. I didn't mind, because with the acrylics you can just paint over the top. So what I'm doing now is I'm just squeezing out some green paint. You're probably asking yourself, why isn't she putting this in the palette? But at this sort of stage, I just like to get a lot of colour on, just cover that canvas, or the board here. And I'm just sort of mixing up the sort of the yellow, then the sort of mid green, and then the dark green, and sort of just blending them together onto this board with just the same brush, just blending away, just really getting relaxed, getting into this painting and trying to get rid of that fear factor, so you enjoy just putting paint onto this board or paper or whatever you're using. And with acrylic paints, you can paint on anything really, as long as you've got it primed. You can choose lots of different surfaces. I'm just putting a little bit more yellow on there. I just want a little bit more light in these grasses. I'm just sort of using the tip of my brush and just sort of blending it in there, but not as much as I did in the previous stage. So you can just see all that lovely light yellow colour there. So it's quite nice. And I'm going to mix up, or actually blob on, a little bit of dark blue, this Prussian blue again, or cyan blue, just to create a little bit. And of course my green paint is still wet, but I just want to blend that in to some of these areas here. As you can see in the photograph, there are some darks. I'm giving this all a blow dry now. I thought I'd show you the hairdryer just to really create the visual that I am drying my painting. What you don't want to do is work on acrylics that are almost dry. They get very sticky and it doesn't blend very well. So I recommend drying your painting. I'm working into the sky again, the dry sky, and I'm squeezing out again a little bit more white. And I just want to put a little light now in the sky. With acrylics, we mainly work dark to light. However, I always like to break rules as well, but in this instance I am working dark to light in the sky, so I'm putting lots of light in the sky using a damp clean brush, the same brush, and just blending this through in the sky area here, and then just really trying to smudge it through at the top there, so it really blends with the top part of the sky. It's not like oils where they're awake. Obviously I blow dry this dry, so you've got to kind of blend these colours when they're wet, because oil paints obviously stay open longer. When I first started using acrylics, I just couldn't get used to it. But now I actually quite like the fact they dry quickly. So here I am sort of blending now the violet with the white. And I think a little bit of the yellow must have got off on my brush, or it was underneath and it hadn't dried because it's sort of come through, which is quite nice. So if you want to put a speck of yellow there, it would be lovely, just where the almost like the sun's coming through the clouds. But I'm just sort of blending away, just making sure it all looks sort of seamless in the sky. And I decided just to put a little bit more white just where the sun is there, and I'm using my fingertips just to blend the light in there as well. It's quite nice, and I find wetting my fingertips as well and doing this makes it a little bit easier to blend the paint. I'm finally using my palette now, so I've just squeezed out a little bit of violet and a light violet as well. I'm using these Amsterdam acrylic paints, and they come in this big set of all these small tubes, all in different colours. I'm spoilt for choice, but you can just use a violet and a little bit of white there if you want to create a lighter violet. But I'm just putting this very light violet colour just on the horizon area of the sky. I kind of missed a bit. The beauty of acrylics, though, you can always work over the top if you make a mistake. So you can just, it's quite relaxing. You can just create something, and if you don't like it, you can let it dry and work over the top. And what I find quite amusing sometimes is some of my students sometimes reuse the same canvas over and over, and when I sort of pick it up or something like that, they're really heavy because the paint starts to get heavier, so it's quite funny. But what I'm doing now is I'm just using the same brush, some of the violet colour. I've actually squeezed out a little bit of pale pink there as well, but if you don't have this sort of colour, just use pink and add some white to it. And I'm just painting little circular sort of blob marks really, and kind of keeping them smaller on the horizon to create depth, but in the foreground making them bigger, but also trying to sort of make them not completely sort of a perfect circle, but sort of a little bit squished on side so it looks more natural looking. So I'm just using the tip of the brush there to make really small dotty marks in the distance. I will be doing some spattering as well later on. For those of you that watch my watercolour channel know how much I love to spatter, but I've just added a little bit of white there as well, and just to create some lighter areas, a little bit more variety. And you know, these can be any wildflowers or flowers even, you know, it doesn't matter really. It's just creating that lovely sort of beautiful colours. And actually you don't have to do this in a violet. You could do this in yellows or blues, or you know, sort of reds even. It could be good for poppies, this sort of technique. I've just squeezed out a little bit of yellow now, and I'm actually going to mix a little bit like I did in the sky, the yellow with the violet, and it creates almost like a brown sort of colour. So I thought it was quite nice, or like a yellow ochre almost, if you add more yellow. And instead of using yellow ochre, I've decided to mix these two together to keep a little bit of colour harmony in my painting. So I'm just painting these for lighter grasses. Remember, as I said earlier, acrylics, you work dark to light. So I'm building up my light areas here, and my green background is dry. It's amazing now, the painting is starting, for me, it's starting to come alive. I'm starting to sort of, it's taking shape. Up till now, it's just been lots of large shapes and blending, but now you're starting to get a structure. And I'm just giving it another blow dry just to really sort of make sure everything's dry. What I would recommend, if you do have the time, is to let it dry naturally. Always let it dry naturally. It's always the best. And acrylics do dry quite quickly. I mean, sometimes if it's not put on too thick, it should be sort of 10, 15, 20 minutes, depending on how thick you put it on. But if you put it on very, very thick, it could even take up to a day. Even if depending how cool or warm the room is, it can actually be even longer. So be patient. And also don't blow dry very thick wet paint, because that just takes forever. I've just squeezed out a little bit more white to build up light areas now. Remember, in acrylics we work dark to light, and I'm building up light areas and creating details. So especially sort of in the middle ground and foreground with the same brush, using the tip of that brush, trying to be as sort of detailed as I can with such a large brush. Just a little note about brush marks. You can be quite expressive with brush marks. Don't just have them all going in the same direction. Really sort of mobilize that wrist, you know, really flick the paintbrush around. I've just rinsed off my brush again, make sure it's nice and clean, and I'm going into some white and the violet just to create some light violet colours, and just painting it sort of on the edge of some of these flowers here to create some lights and darks and details. So I've mixed up a little bit of the cyan blue, that's the cold blue, but any blue will do, nice dark blue, and you can mix it with a bit of yellow as well. I just want to make a really nice dark green. I've actually added a little bit of violet there as well, just to create a bit of colour harmony, and I just want to paint a few darks in those grass areas there. Some of them have faded back a bit, and I just want to really emphasize the sort of dark shadow areas there, and to really bring out those light colored flowers as well. I've just squeezed out a little bit of a light green. If you don't have it, you can just add some more yellow to a blue. And I'm just painting some light limey sort of green grasses in between the flowers in the middle distance and distance there. It's not unlike Impressionism, is it, here? You know, you're just painting dots and marks, almost like pointillism. And I'm using a little bit of pointillism now for the marks of flowers, little violet flowers on the horizon, using the tip of my brush. And I'm just wetting now the little bit of violet here, putting a little bit more water in there. So it's a little bit more like watercolour, and sort of watering down these acrylics. And I'm just going to give this sort of area on the horizon a tap, and to release the paint off the brush. You could use a toothbrush for this as well, it works really well. What I would suggest is have a little practice, and also make sure you're not near sort of computers or anything sort of that you don't want to get any paint on. That's really important. If you do make a mistake with acrylics, you can just dab off with a little bit of paper towel, and it usually comes off nicely. But I will show you what happens when it doesn't come off as well. But I'm giving a spatter now of some lighter colour here, lighter pink. You can add a bit of white to your pink just to create some light and sparkle in your painting. Giving my brush a good rinse there, cleaning off the acrylics. And I'm now painting in a really dark violet colour. If you don't have the dark violet, you can add blue to your violet. And I just want to paint some details, not necessarily exactly like the photograph, especially with this very large brush. It's quite tricky to do, and I just want to create an impression, my own interpretation. So I'm just using the tip of the brush to create some darks and details here on the horizon and just above the horizon, really to sort of to be the focal point, as it were. So you've really got some nice darks against light, the light sky that being. So I'm just sort of adding detail here, just trying to get a nice balance to create a, you know, quite a nice composition. The other thing you could do as well with something like this, it could almost be a study for a much larger piece, and I can see this as being a really big acrylic painting, maybe to hang in your bedroom or lounge or somewhere like that. You know, it could have really good impact, and it would be fun, wouldn't it? Spattering a large painting, you'd really have to make sure you sort of put lots of newspaper and things down to cover the floor area. I've just made a splodge there, so I've rinsed my brush to get some clean water, and I've sort of just added water to it because I thought if I dab it with tissue it's just going to make a bigger mess. So just add some water just to clean it off, as it were, because the paint underneath is dry. It's supposed to be permanent, but if you mess about with it too much, I do find the acrylic underneath can sort of get a little bit, you know, sort of woken up, as it were. But for what I did there, it will be fine. So what I'm doing here, which is a really nifty thing, I'm actually using the bottom of a tube of acrylic paint, and it kind of bends a little bit, so I've got sort of a little arc that I can make with it. It is a bit messy and some bits work better than others, but it's nice to get these very thin marks that I wasn't able to get with this brush, so you can use things around the house as well. So a little bit went wrong here, and again I'm just wetting it with some clean water and then just taking off that little splodge that I created there. So don't ever worry about it, and if that doesn't come off that way, let it dry and then paint over the top, and that works as well. I'm just diluting this dark violet colour here. Again, you can use the blue, a blue and a pink mixed together actually. And I'm spattering that on around the horizon there, even in the sky. I'm just going for it to create sort of little bits of detail there. If you half close your eyes, it can look like little wildflowers and little darks and details there. And I'm just going to give a little spatter as well in the foreground. Really making sure my brush is rinsed there because I'm actually going to spatter some yellow and I want it to be really sort of nice and bright looking and don't want any sort of contamination in there. So I'm just giving that a spatter all over the sort of middle ground and foreground. I'm going to finish off with a really light spatter now, just to really just give it that last little bit of highlights here and there, and it really does stop me from doing and painting anymore and fiddling too much as well. You can see I gave it a real firm tap with my other hand there, and remember you can actually take off spatters that you don't like with some paper towel, so you don't have to worry. If you don't like spattering, you can still use the tip of your brush, which is what I'm showing you here, painting on those light colours. So, and especially if you don't like mess and things like that, and I totally get it. And I know some of my students really don't like spattering, so I really appreciate it. So you can do this, and you know, you don't have to just use the one brush. You can actually go for a smaller brush if you have them. So it's just to show you that you can really get a lot done with just one brush. You don't have too many decisions to make, as it were. And I'm just painting in now a few more little round dots of pink, just to finish my painting. And here it is. I'm really pleased with it actually. I love the colours and I really enjoyed all that spattering and mark making. I really hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks so much for watching. And if you have any questions about this tutorial, please put them in the comments section below. I would love to hear from you and I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching. Happy wildflowers painting. Bye for now.